and it was a great show. And Mick Jagger was 72 then. This was just a couple years ago.
I don't really get that either, because it's just, I'm sure they were great probably maybe 30 years ago, but it's just a bunch of old men running around stage thinking they're 25, isn't it?
Yeah, but the sound was really good, and for us, we're greatest hits kind of people from like whatever that era was, and that's they just play. Like my dad made me a CD of like the 20 songs that he thought were the best songs they'd ever done from his perspective. So I was listening to that for like 2 months ahead of the show, like getting ready, and it was really cool.
Excellent. Did you hear that, David? His dad made him a CD.
Yeah, my car plays CDs.
I know. And my dad used to say to me, "Piss off, I'm on holiday."
Well,
that's what he used to say. Bless him.
What I didn't know when I bought my parents these tickets was that Rolling Stones was a bucket list event for my mom. Like my dad got really. He's like, I can't believe this is happening. This is so cool. Your mom's wanted to see the Stones for 40 years. Legit 40 years.
Like actual 40 years. That's that was an awesome show. And they put on just a phenomenal show for just another one of their random spots. Everybody's the same to them, but they freaking rock out just as hard. For us.
That was
cool.
And even in the contract to do the concert in Bobby Dodd Stadium, that if they messed the grass up too much, they had to pay for it to be resodded. They held up their end of that bargain because they did tear it up a little bit, and they paid for it to be completely resodded.
Jeez. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. I've just said the most British thing ever. Bloody hell.
Bloody hell, boy.
The good news is bloody really isn't the cuss word in the States. So if you need to use a cuss word today on the show, bloody is the one to pick.
Brandon,
there we go.
Brandon's already giving me shit in the chat. Already.
Who's
so how do I find this? I'm just trying to find it on YouTube and I couldn't find it. Have I been a moron?
Obviously. Perhaps.
I mean, literally, you type in PETM podcast. I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world to find.
That's what we say.
Earlier, we wasn't actually streaming at that point then.
Maybe not. Sorry, somebody. Speaking of morons, I need to turn my volume off.
Crumpets and tea.
Crumpets and tea. Bloody hell.
Jumpy Bob's getting all over our case. Marmite
Jumpy Bob
is a good one as well.
Marmite.
Yeah, I love.
Who's Cody?
Marmite
Carrot. I don't know who that
Marmite
is.
What's up, Cody?
I know who Mark is. I know David. Well, obviously, you're heckling while doing the show, which is good because who was it that did that before? It was Santonio Brown. The Braves guy that we had on. He was like going.
Well, I can type because I'm in my little command center. So I'll show you.
Oh, the race iRacing deal.
Yeah, so I've literally got my keyboard here.
Yes, I can see.
Oh my goodness!
So
Julie
any
Bosley.
abuse, that's it. I'm going to be all over you.
Julie Bosley was a phenomenal hostess once again.
Absolutely
at the track.
Every time we go to Bristol, well, lately it seems like we spend a lot of time with the Bosleys, and we enjoy every absolute second of it. All right, should we? So. You guys, we're going to do, when we do our intro that you've heard before, we actually, disappear. We'll ghost you for, 45 seconds to a minute because we'll play the intro.
It's kind of like when I was on y'all's and y'all did the intro and you're like, you're just not going to hear it. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and then Rusty will do the Patreon read, and then we'll pop back on and intro you, and then quickly usually we do the What You Drinking segment at that point. And then who knows what's going to happen next. We have it written down, but you never know.
Sherwin, you're on G-Chat, right? Because I'm going to text you something mid. I put together kind of a special segment.
Okay.
I'm going to text you something. And David,
For us?
Sorry. Sherwin, is it? Yeah. Special segment.
And
David,
segment for us.
David, I've chosen you as somebody I'm going to text as well. So can you see this? I'm going to send you a text right now on.
Yes.
Okay, so you can see that. Okay. Perfect. So that'll be Rusty's surprise segment, and we'll get it going.
And we put a couple things in there that we haven't done, or I put a couple things in there we haven't done before. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah. And
And you'll have to let us know when you need to go to bed because this thing may go on for hours.
It could.
That's fine. No, that's no worries.
It could.
Yeah,
get
no
sideways.
worries.
All right. Well, I just did a sound check, so that worked.
Whoop, whoop.
We are already live on the YouTube, and folks, as usual, gave us our feedback about Rusty being stupid and not selecting the right output device. Y'all, there's so many freaking buttons to get this thing started, and I can't believe the one that I missed the most is the output the right sound to YouTube button. So I'm a dunce. Sherwin is glassy-eyed.
Oh, look, here's the thing: is if I had to mash any of those buttons over there, there wouldn't be no podcast. Like the only thing I can do is drink and talk into this microphone and dick off on Twitter.
And it's like a 80-20, like really good at drinking. Talking, we're there. We're getting there.
Way better at drinking.
Yeah.
Way more experienced drinking.
Yeah, we've only got 3 years doing this talky thing.
Right.
All right, fellas, y'all ready to roll?
Yep.
Ready.
All right, we are ready to roll. Let me get recording. Here we go, PETM Posse. We're recording now.
Going.
Welcome, y'all! That's right! This is the Pregame Engineer Tailgate Mayor Racing Podcast, episode number 143. It's Thursday, April 19th, 2018. I'm Tailgate Mayor Rusty Wallace. I'm joining the PETM Podcast studio with Pregame Engineer Andrew Sherwin. What's up, dude?
Is spring here or is it not? I can't hardly tell. We had a really nice day yesterday, but it's like
It snowed in Bristol.
It's cold out there.
Straight
now.
up cold. I don't know what's going on. We'll tell you all this. We're not going to tell you anything if I can't pronounce it. This podcast is sponsored by you. That's right. You go to patreon.com/PETM. Join the What You Drink Club for as little as $1 a month. Get that free koozie. Best part is, every cent in 2018, we're donating to sponsoring drivers. So join the PETM Posse today. Be a part of the sport you love. This week's show is brought to you by our official sponsors at the $5 and up per month level. That is Catherine Kingston, Ashley Stang, David Patterson, Laura Henshaw, Harry Bolzania, Mick Rose, Aaron Bearden, Robert Keplinger, Tony Salt, Kobe McClam, Eric Kepner, Ryan Keeper, Mary Levesque, Patrick Cleary, Jeff Brown, Brandon Crowd, Kathleen McDonald, Stacey Wright, Brandon Carl, Billy Workman, Rika Porter, Jumpy Bob, and Les Miller, Jason Rudd, Tommy Witt, and Mark Wiley. I think I got that one in one breath this time.
That was that was good.
Maybe one.
That was definitely
1.5.
You may want to trap that one and use it as a voiceover.
No,
to hell with it though, right?
Right,
it's more
right.
fun to do it live.
People won't be able to make fun of me. Sherwin, it's still daylight outside and we're drinking liquor. That's usually a faux pas for us. Usually it's like, oh, sun went down. We can drink liquor now.
Yeah, and it's not like July where the days are really long and you kind of get in there a little bit like you done have been in the beer for like 5 hours.
Right.
You're like, all right, it's
Right.
time.
All right, I got to get a liquor drink.
No, it's Thursday in April.
And we started
And
with
like,
a
well,
liquor drink.
there's only one way we know how to do this thing.
Yeah.
So this is what we're doing.
So we're doing that because we got some very special guests on tonight. They're all the way from the UK, Great Britain, England, whatever they decide to call themselves this
From
week.
London.
I don't even know if they're anywhere near London.
No, I don't think they are.
Follow them on Twitter at MOATF Podcast. It's the boys, Andrew and David, from the My Opinion and Therefore Fact podcast. Fellas, what's happening?
What's happening?
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, we're doing
great,
fantastic tonight.
Hold on, I'm upset. Hold on.
No, I just noticed
that's not how that.
That was
going down well.
Andrew and David for a change.
No, that's not right. It's David and Andrew.
Oh, it's David. Oh, it's supposed to be David first. My B.
Oh well,
That's how it works. You see, because we're pretty happy because we've just turned up. Don't have to do any sort of prep. But this is what David does every episode. Just turns up with no prep, so it's nothing new for him.
I heard you giving him a hard time this past week about that.
He gives me a hard time all the time. Like, I write the theme tune, I sing the theme tune. He just makes notes. I mean, how hard can it be? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we'll get into all that. I took all the stuff, me and my wand in the airport.
Oh, listen to it. Don't let him ruin your show, guys.
Yeah, sorry.
Well, Rusty and I have this really unique way we share the responsibilities. Like, I'll start the notes, and I do all the Twitter stuff where I will collect the questions and stuff. But he does he polishes it all up and puts some historical research in there, and he'll be like, hey, what if we did this? And he runs the soundboard, and basically what we call it is it's like a sports broadcast booth, in that Rusty is the play-by-play, and like I provide the color.
Right. So
Yeah, that sounds about right.
it's a good dichotomy, or if you will. So David and Andrew. All right. I've got it now. We don't really Sherwin. We don't. I guess Sherwin and Rusty and Sherwin. I don't know. It's whatever.
I think
at this point.
so. When I send emails,
I don't ever see.
When I send emails from the PETM podcast email, I'll sign it Sherwin and Rusty. PETM Racing Podcast, because PE is me.
Yeah, that makes
and
sense.
TM is you.
Yeah,
but that's,
TMPE doesn't sound. That sounds
there's
like
no ego
Tempe.
behind it.
Temple.
It's just
the Tempe podcast. Although we do have the PETM podcast, I guess.
right.
If
The
you're trying
Pet.
to
Somebody who
pronounce
called
it.
us Petum for a while.
I don't
Was it them?
know.
It was one of these guys, I think.
Could be, fellas.
It would have definitely been Andy.
It's 11 or 12 p.m., a.m., whatever it is where y'all are at. Tell the folks what y'all are drinking tonight.
I'll let you go first. You can go first.
Right. Well, so I've got two things. I've got something called from the brewery is Piston Heads, and it's called Flat Tire. I thought it'd be appropriate.
Flat
tire.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a Swiss. It's a not Swiss. That's completely wrong. It's a Swedish beer. So I've got that. And considering you chaps are from Atlanta and you were in Tennessee this last weekend, I've got Jack Daniels and Coke as well. So
Oh, look at
there we
you.
go.
Oh, what a guy.
Man,
I love
nailed it.
I love it. You know, Flat Tire, that's a New Belgium beer here. They might be getting a letter.
That's Fat Tire.
Oh, Fat Tire. You're right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they might still be getting a
there you
letter.
go. There's-
Oh, I like the can. The blue and
Yeah,
black.
it's good. Got a skull and everything.
Nice.
that makes a good beer. It's got skill.
So when I think of beer, I think of skunks.
What am I drinking? Right. So before we even
Double
started this,
fisting here,
I'm-
looking
Yeah, he
at two
does.
different cans. What the hell am I drinking? I don't know. I'm so damn drunk.
I've got a Bellhaven Twisted Mango IPA, which I got through before the show even started, so that went down a little bit too well. And then we've got Wolf Warning India Pale Ale, which tastes like absolute pap. But I'll drink it.
I'm
I
assuming
thought he was going to say garbage or something. I don't even know what pap is. What is that?
that's probably
Well, pap's a very English word for poo. Very English word. But yeah, Wolf Warning, it's not too bad. But I've got Dale's Brew downstairs. What is it? Dale's Pale Ale?
Dale's Pale.
Oh, nice.
Sponsors Elliot
Dale's
Sadler's
Pale.
car.
Sure enough. Sherwin, what are we
So there you
drinking?
go.
Let's see. All right, so in honor of the fact that we are going back to Virginia, despite the fact that Elijah Craig, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, as I'm showing on the camera here, fourth wall for the people that are just going to listen, it was originally concocted in a portion of Virginia that's actually now Kentucky. So we're going to go throwback to that. We got that with a little bit of Coca-Cola. Somebody's probably going to get pissed that we mixed it. That's fine. And I've got a Red Brick IPA right here from Atlanta.
My fridge is stacked up now with, it's got to be 10 different types of beer. And so I just get to go down there and pull and see what happens. So I've got another one of those Wolf Pup Session IPAs, which I actually just finished.
Oh, nice.
That I may need you to pull out of your thing over there just so I can have another one on deck here.
Sierra.
Oh, hello. Yeah, I'll
got a
take
bottle
that.
opener?
We got one right here.
There it is. We got some of these terrapins left over from last time we let it get hot. But we got ice in here.
Yeah, we'll figure
Whatever.
something out. Fellas, so for anyone listening who this is their first time hearing your voices, and they're going, why did they just get two rando British dudes on the show? Tell the folks about the podcast and what y'all are up to.
You can go with that. I'm just here as McRae, so don't worry about it.
Well, yeah, you're here just to be your usual
I'm just
diva
drinking.
self.
I'm just
Yeah.
drinking. So
So I feel like I'm the only one that's not wearing a hat, and I'm probably the only one that needs a hat. So I should maybe be wearing one. So yeah. So basically, last July time, we walked into a DIY store in the UK, and one of us said, "Oh, that's my opinion and therefore fact," just as a statement, and we said that'll be a good name for a podcast. So 7 days later, we had a podcast on iTunes, which clearly nobody listened to. Because we got from sort of deciding we were going to make a podcast to making one within 7 days. It took us probably a few weeks to decide it was going to be purely NASCAR. And yeah, we then that was it really. So we just talk about NASCAR, chat absolute nonsense every Monday night.
I don't even think any of it is I don't think any of it is actually factual. In fact, most of it is 100% of it is not factual, and it's just our useless nonsense that we think of. So yeah, it's good fun.
Yeah, we miss lots of facts every week.
yeah,
every week when we finish recording.
So
it's like, we needed to talk about that.
So y'all had a name before you had a podcast.
Yes.
I love it. Hey, and good on you for executing in 7 days. I think it took me and Sherwin better part of 6 months to even go from concept to actually doing something. And it's not because we were prepping. It's because we were lazy as crap and kept going, we really ought to start this podcast thing we keep talking about. And then we'd get drunk and it wouldn't happen. And in a brilliant moment of sobriety, which is not regular for Sherwin.
True story.
Yeah. He put out an episode, and that kind of got me getting, I don't know, that kicked me in the ass with the stirrup, and we finally started the week after that.
Yeah, so I think we did actually settle on a name for it, that we were going to use the acronyms of our...
Oh, yeah.
Because originally when I set up my Twitter handle, it was just the same handle I've been using for email and stuff for years. And then when Rusty finally set up a Twitter, I was like, oh, that's cool. I got to come up with something that relates to that is like similarly anonymous, so to speak.
Yeah.
So Rusty came out with Tailgate Mayor, and then he started doing Twitter, and I was like, Tailgate Mayor. All right, how can I do this right? I was like, well, I love to pregame, and my profession is an engineer. All right, got it.
And I love to tailgate, and I have nothing to do with the mayor, except I just declared myself mayor of tailgating. So.
The name was born.
We've had this conversation. It's barbecuing on your truck.
Oh, is that what that? Oh, yeah, I remember that. Oh, yeah, but I think we decided that was a silly idea because surely setting fire to, the back of your truck was not a clever idea.
You know what? It has worked 100% of the times that we've done it.
I've blown up my truck exactly 0 times thus far in tailgating.
I think that's a user situation. If you don't know how to operate a grill, that's on you. We don't call them barbecues in the South. Just because you haven't been hit by a comet
either doesn't mean it ain't going to happen. All right? Just throwing it out there.
I hear you.
I bet
this ain't an Allstate commercial.
Now, what do y'all do before? What do y'all do before? Whatever weird sports that y'all play out there with cricket and stuff. What? What do y'all do before that game?
Oh, they play hand egg too.
Oh yeah. It's a different kind of one.
I'm a hand egg season ticket holder.
Hand egg season ticket holder.
Very nice.
And what we do before those games is just drink Guinness normally.
Well, see, that's what we do. We just do it while sitting on the tailgate of a truck, and you light it on fire.
I mean, it's like drinking brown.
What, the truck or the
water.
tailgate?
Right, the tailgate of the truck. So
y'all don't have pickup trucks the way we do. That's the difference.
Oh yeah, I guess that's the other thing.
No, actually, you say that, and they are getting bigger. I've noticed.
They are getting bigger.
They are getting bigger. There's a VW one. Just gonna be really boring now. Sorry.
I'll stop you right there. VW does not have a pickup truck.
VW have a massive pickup truck.
I drive a Dodge Ram. I will
Dodge Ram.
I will eat a VW pickup truck.
There's a guy in our village who's got a Dodge Ram actually.
Who did?
The guy in your. I've got something for you actually.
Okay.
Before rugby, people eat pies. Not like weird pies like you have. You have like dessert pies. We have proper pies with like meat in it.
Okay, I thought you were
like shepherd's pie.
Pies. You need to tell exactly what's in the pie. Whereas we just have pies. It's like there could be various objects in that pie.
We call pizza pies.
I haven't made myself for that reason.
Well, I was about to make fun of you if you're just well, that's worse, dude. If you're going to eat pie before a whatever, what was it, a rugby match or a cricket match?
Rugby,
rugby. Oh, yeah,
rugby match. Man. Oh, let's go outside and eat pie before. I'm glad
it doesn't flow as well here.
Right. I'm glad you clarified that it's like actual meat pie or
there's
something.
A dead animal in it.
I'm thinking of all right, it's apple pie time for. I love it. This is why we're here. This is
why we're doing this. This is why we thought we might not figure out how to navigate this being a short show.
It's going to be terrible. All right. Fellas, y'all
We
went.
apologise if we're going to ruin it as well. You know, we'll apologise.
Oh, there's
in
no
advance.
ruining it. Ruining is what we're doing and the whole time. Like this week in Vernon is what we call it. Vernon.
I mean, the only way to ruin it is like to just start reading the dictionary or something. Like
Yeah, to be not funny. You guys are
that's
doing
awful.
fine at being funny.
Andy, you are a king of that.
Well, being not funny.
Yeah, that's it.
of reading the dictionary.
Ops.
I would listen to Ward Burton read the dictionary, but that's
all day.
That's about it.
All day.
Y'all went to a race this weekend too, and Sherwin was on your show, and he said it was in Italy, so it was either Italy or Spain. Where
It could have probably been Spain.
that y'all went to,
It could have been anywhere in Europe.
right?
It was
Anywhere.
it was in Spain.
Valencia.
I
That's-
definitely
that
said
could totally
Italy,
be,
and I felt like an
You definitely said
absolute
Italy, but
idiot
we're
when that
too
show
polite
was-
to correct you because we're British.
Oh man, tell us about it. How fun was that? What happened? Give us a rundown.
Well, basically, it was absolutely awesome. David, you know, obviously you can chime in at any time and talk over me, as you normally do. So,
Yeah.
so obviously we went to Zolder, which was the Euro NASCAR finals last year. And we just sent an email saying, you know, maybe we'd love to come and, you know, have a look at your event as media. And to our eternal surprise, they said yes.
Wow.
And even more than that, they invited us back. And we're on the permanent media list, aren't we, for Euro NASCAR, which is
Yeah.
pretty.
It's like hard
It's just
card.
stupid. It's just stupid. Absolutely nonsense. You know,
But,
it
yeah,
is a
so-
media press. Go talk to whoever you want. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and you know, we're down on the grid in the pit lane, in the media centre, that kind of stuff. You know, we met Bobby and Jennifer as we've said. So, and it was just a great. I mean, Euro NASCAR is, we don't have anything like it. All the touring car series in Europe tend to be like 2-litre turbocharged hatchbacks, that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the only one that's sort of a big event that's a V8, and Jerome Galpin, who's the CEO of NASCAR, he's done an absolutely amazing job of promoting it. And you know, I think there was like 30,000 fans there this weekend. They get 50,000 for Brands Hatch, which is the UK round.
Wow.
So yeah, it's great, and we absolutely loved it. Basically,
I enjoyed it. I absolutely enjoyed it. I just like talking to people there. It's great. I didn't talk to any of the locals, just drivers, obviously. Obviously made a new friend of the show, Alex. Obviously
yeah, there's
he's
a
my
British
new
driver. Yeah, a 19-year-old British driver. And there's a
he's,
guy
he's
actually.
cool.
Yeah, he is. He's a lovely young man, and there's a guy who's Roman, who's a French chap. I keep looking at the YouTube thing. I need to turn that off. Yeah, Roman Iannetta, and he's actually was a stunt driver on the Bourne Identity.
The film.
Nice.
The film.
Oh,
and,
that's cool.
And he's also the French Stig.
Oh, the French stick.
Oh, no kidding.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to say that. I don't know. Maybe it's not meant to be.
You just outed him.
Maybe not meant to say that.
Right.
All right, let us know if we have to go back and bleep that.
Yeah.
Well, he shouldn't have told us if he didn't want it getting out there. So.
That's true.
Yeah, that's it.
I like how Andy just sort of dropped first names there. Oh yeah, with Bobby and Jennifer. He's talking about
I was gonna hit
he's
on
talking
that.
about Bobby Labonte and Jennifer Jo Cobb, y'all.
Yeah, Bobby Labonte, 20
friends of the show.
Cup race
yeah.
winner and champion and nominee for NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Right. And
They
he's going
just-
to get
we
it.
missed
They
that
just
bit.
stuck a microphone in his face.
Yeah, that's
Well,
fantastic.
this is the thing. I went and seen him. So we met him on. When did we meet him? On the Friday or the Saturday?
On Friday, yeah.
On the
Friday
we met him on the
lunch.
Friday, and we were chatting to him, and I had my Jimmy John's hat on. So he wasn't happy about that, and then every time I seen him after that, he was just calling me Jimmy John's. So he's like, Jimmy John's.
Whoa, hold on. I thought you were
Come on.
Snickers.
Yeah, where's the Snickers at?
Harvick and Snickers don't get along for cuss word.
Well, Kathleen always has a go at me for for having a Snickers hat. So I got a Kevin Harvick hat, and I wear that quite a lot of the time.
You cow tower.
And that's it. Honestly, you can't abuse the Kevin Harvick fans because they will get you. They will absolutely mess you up. So
You know what?
I
I
got a
think
Kevin
we're
Harvick
friends
hat,
enough.
and I've been wearing that.
Yeah, we're friends with enough of them that I think we get away with it.
Right.
But Harvick, I mean, what are you
they're
going to
paid.
do with 44 wins in a championship? There's nothing to be
no
said
kidding.
there.
No kidding.
You can give the attitude a little bit of hell, but I mean,
Yeah.
he's going to be in the Hall of Fame. So
Tell us about that track. What's the length of the track? Is it road course? Is it circle track? What's the deal?
It's a road course. I don't know how long.
Track.
What?
That was, what was that? The length.
Is it a circle track?
Yeah, it's an exact circle. The radius is 45 meters.
Y'all
That's it.
take me
Shut up, nerd.
way too literally.
Yeah,
It's circle track
No,
versus road car. I mean, that's
Wow, I mean, the
it's
people
a
that don't
road-
even know about
it's-
NASCAR are going to listen. That's what they think we do is race in circles. We know it's not circles. Oval, circle.
Well, technically, I suppose it is a circle track because you end up where you start, no matter which way you go in between.
good point.
Okay.
Oh, listen to him again with his common sense. Get out of here.
It's it's a road course. It's actually a great track because it's a stadium track. They use it for MotoGP, which is absolutely huge in Spain. MotoGP, they have 3 races in Spain. It's massive, and it's one of their tracks. And it's a stadium track, so you can see all of the track from even if it's a road course. You can see all of the track from anywhere, all in the grandstands and stuff.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
So do you guys
it's
know
really,
who?
Yeah, really good track.
Do you know who Bill Burr is? The comedian.
Bill Burr.
Bill Burr. B-U-R-R.
Bill Burr. No.
Yeah, like
Oh,
Aaron
no,
Burr.
Bill Bow
Same
is
last
Bill
name.
Bow Baggins, but that's about
Bill
it.
Burr Baggins. He's
All right,
my
well,
dad.
never mind. He's been getting into MotoGP, and it's been fun listening to him talk on his podcast about it. All right, segment done.
Okay.
Next.
So, what was your favorite place to eat in Italy? Did you have Italian food while you were there?
This is right now. This is the thing, right? Is out of all of the places we could have had tapas, we could have had that. What's that stupid thing? Where they
Paella?
put, yeah, that's it. It's the stupid thing where they
rice
put
and
seafood
fish.
in rice.
Gazpacho?
Yeah, that's
Not
it, yeah.
cool. Not.
I don't
cool.
even know what Spanish
we
food
went
is.
to what the Hard Rock Cafe.
Like chicken fingers.
Twice.
Why the hell not? Get some chicken fingers and a Bud Light.
That's it. You know, we didn't want to experience the culture there. We just wanted food that isn't going to give us the trots the next day. Not a chance.
Trots. Is that the runs? Is that what that
That's it. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
that's it. Yeah.
similar word? Horses trot.
So what did y'all do before the race? How did you tailgate? Was there any beer involved?
There's some weird empanadas they were eating. Well, not eating; they were thrown away. Yeah, no, the food wasn't great, to be fair.
In the circuit, the food wasn't great in the circuit, and
It was
we
too
wasn't
Spanish.
really-
Like, why have Spanish food in Spain? Why can't we have like normal English food?
So
Yeah,
y'all
no,
y'all didn't have any
you know what I mean?
bologna burgers there.
No bologna burgers or a pizza burger or cheese
That's it.
sticks?
Pizza.
What
What's
was
a
the other
pizza
thing?
burger?
Oh, with a Martinsville hot dog.
Oh yeah.
What's a pizza burger?
Oh well, you need to come to
you got to go to Eldora.
to find that out, or ask
Is
Tony
that like a
Stewart.
euphemism for something else?
Uh,
Am I
no,
gonna be
it's
really
not.
upset
It is-
when I turn up?
Quite literal, actually. They
It's
put
a burger with a pizza in.
they put pizza sauce and cheese on a burger and sell it to you for like $2 at Eldora, which in funny money is like
Isn't
a pound
that a
60 or
cheeseburger with
something.
tomatoes on it?
Yeah, it's yeah.
Oh, it's
A
fantastic.
pound 60. A quid 60.
A quid 60.
Is that even a thing?
That is a thing.
That is a thing, 100%,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Quid
100%.
60.
Oh, everybody drink.
Yeah, there's a drinking word right there. How about some? So we got, of course, we went to Bristol and we got some stories from the track. Even though we
We had a good time.
we had a damn good time. There were people that raced garbage cans down the hill at
Oh,
about
that's fun.
midnight. That was a good one.
And it's way
Well,
faster
they were
than it
they were in
sounds.
them.
They stole them and then raced them down.
They
a hill
raced them
at
like
the-
you would like ride a horse.
Yeah, yeah. So take a garbage can, set it on its side, and then straddle it, and then go down the hill and pray to whatever god you pray to.
That you don't hit something hard.
Yeah, that you don't go over the railing.
It's funny. So we got what we call them Herbie. We used to call them Herbie Kirby's, but it's trash cans that got wheels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the hill is super steep, so you can ride this thing like it's a horse, but you ain't got no way to steer it without putting your foot down. That's the only way you can steer. We didn't see any bad wrecks though.
No,
But
no.
what we used to do those things when I was a teenager was ride them down the road, hanging out the back of a pickup truck, and just cut them loose and see what happened.
just this one.
And like you wanted to want like on like next day was trash day. That was like full of trash. And you get up to like 50, 60
explode.
mile an hour and just cut it loose, and it'd be like tumbling the trash, be going everywhere.
Love it. Any crazy stories from Italy? I don't know why I love saying it.
It's That's because I said it on their show.
Right.
Nothing really funny happened, to be fair. Nothing outrageously silly, stupid happened. Other than I had absolutely no idea where I was going, where I was flying, where I was flying from.
Yeah, so David doesn't do travel unless somebody does it for him.
No, it's not that. I
So
just don't.
he doesn't know how to get on a plane, doesn't know what his passport is, he doesn't know what a boarding
Are you
card
a
is.
child?
It's kind of like podcasting then, right?
Well,
Yeah, 100%. After everything for him.
Well, I knew where the tickets were, and I knew they had to get on a plane. All right, and on the way back,
they put
I
the
even
ticket
found
on your
which
phone
terminal
now.
we were going from.
Yeah.
So we went on the F-18 thing, whatever it's called.
The
You didn't get
F-18.
no F-18, I guarantee you that.
You'd have been there in about 10 minutes.
And you would have
no,
had barf
we were
all
pretty,
over
we
you.
were pretty sensible, to be fair. Yeah, we were pretty sensible, weren't
We did nearly get murdered by the bloke downstairs in the shop.
we? Well,
Well,
in your mind.
we bought like some drinks and some things that were in packets so that they didn't have some sort of various diseases in it. And we went to the shop and we went to purchase it. And he looked at me and he went, "Oh, you're new here?" And I was like, "Oh God, he's gonna kill me. I'm new here. He's gonna murder me, and nobody's gonna know about
That's
it."
a hell of an escalation. Just like, are you
It
new
is
here?
a bit, isn't it?
I'm going to kill you.
That's how his brain works, you see.
It was the way he tilted his head. He's like, "You're new here?" I was like, "Oh God, this is it. This is the end of my life."
We'll tell a quick story from Bristol. Of course, we set up our campsite and all that. I was cooking one night, and I've got the what do you call it? Like that 2-burner stove, the old Coleman stove. And this one my grandmother gave me, and it's from like the
It
60s or
withstands
50s
the
or
test
something.
of time.
Yeah.
I have my grandfather's. It looks exactly the same.
Yeah, exactly. And it takes that white gas. So y'all, as redneck kids, Sherman's laughing. As redneck kids, we play with gas and we play with fire. And if you ain't lit the woods on fire behind your house, you ain't lived yet before as like a 10-year-old. Because now you got some real adult stuff to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, like the woods are on fire. Hey, we were just having fun playing kid stuff, but now we got adult stuff to deal with. And of course, first thing you do, what do? You pour some water on it, and now you're totally screwed because it's all over the place. So you learn stuff about fire, right? So turns out I was putting some more gas into the stove, and this is that white gas. Doesn't even smell or nothing, right? And I wiped. I'd spilled a little bit because I didn't have the right funnel or whatever. So I wiped that up with a paper towel, and then with the paper towel hand and with my hand, I went to go light the grill back up, and it lit up. And Sherwin, I'll let you take over the story from here because the next part was just kind of funny.
I was messing with my phone or something, and I see a little bit of like a flustered movement happen, and then there's fire in 2 different places, and like, and Rusty's like, he's like stamping out one fire, but he's got another fire like on his hand.
My hand is on fire and the ground is on fire.
And yeah, the ground's on fire, his hand's on fire, and I look up, and it was like maybe the most classic line either one of us have ever had towards each other. I was like, "You good?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm all right. Figure this out."
My hand is on fire.
Lunatics.
I'm on fire. The ground's on fire. Sherwin goes, "Hey, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll be fine." This stupid, I'm just cussing at the fire. Not even mad.
And I'm
just
just like
yeah,
looking
I'm
at a phone about half drunk, and like I don't even. I'm like, you all right?"
yeah,
Yeah, I'm good.
yeah, I'm fine.
All right, cool.
I'm fine.
You got
While
it.
still mid fire, and Sherwin goes back to his phone as I'm trying to burn down the campsite. So
That's the relationship we have, y'all.
the moral of the story is, kids, play with fire.
Yeah, absolutely play with fire.
This is endorsed by the PETM podcast and by association the MOATF podcast. Play with fire when you're a kid, because
always.
if I had not played with fire and gasoline as a kid, I probably would not have known that everything's going to be all right. All I have to do is snuff this one out. My hand isn't on fire. It's the gas on my hand that's on fire, right? So
Right,
as
it'll
soon as that
eventually
goes
go
out-
away.
Now that said, I have half-length
no
hairs
hair left.
right
Yeah.
on my entire hand and upper or lower forearm. But that's just a casualty of war.
A formality.
A formality, yeah, just a checkbox on the form that you have to sign.
I don't see any second-degree burns on your hand. or
No,
anything,
I've
so,
got
yeah.
third-degree burns on my freaking leg from not putting sunscreen on, but that's a different
Oh,
story.
yeah.
No, it's not third. It's probably second degree there, though. So there
No,
you
I
go.
only have one ridiculous story about that.
Please.
Me and my friend went out on a night out, come back to the house, and there was a moth flying around. You get moths over there?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
big,
Oh, hell
crazy
yeah, we
things?
get moths.
And obviously, because we were drunk, we decided that the best thing to kill said moth would be a meat cleaver. Obviously, the first thing that you think of to kill a
clearly
moth
the
is a meat
Is
cleaver.
I need to cut it in half with the biggest knife that I have.
Exactly. So it lands on the wall. We're at my mum's house.
Oh, no.
Lands on the wall. Smash straight into the wall. Massive meat cleaver. Takes a chunk out of the wall. Like, oh, great. My mum is not going to be happy. So she comes back the next day and there's just meat cleaver holes everywhere.
gonna
Absolutely
say.
everywhere. We're trying to chase this moth down. So note to self, don't kill it with a meat cleaver. Hit it with a rag
my
or something.
God.
It's safer.
So
I've got something similar to that. We used to go shooting for pigeons and rabbits with shotguns, but in the middle of the day in the summer, you don't really see much of either.
right.
So we're wandering around the farmers' fields looking for something to shoot, and we got that bulb. We started shooting butterflies with the double barrel, and and you can't hit them. It's impossible.
Hunting
You cannot hit
butterflies.
a butterfly
My
with a gun.
favorite.
Hunting butterflies. There is
Welcome to
somebody
Britain.
from PETA
Welcome to
and some animal activist that's going to light us up for this, and I don't give a damn because that's funny.
We didn't hit any, so that's fine.
The
They all
Matrix,
survived.
trying
So-
to shoot the wings off and fly.
Hunting butterflies.
So I got some buddies that have like a big old farm in Nowheresville, East Georgia, and they have all the shooting sports. At the time they had skeet and trap, but we would turn the lights on at night, and the bats would come out during the summer, and we made a rule that you were only allowed to shoot them with a 410 or a 22 because it was way too easy to do it with a 12 gauge.
With a shotgun. There were so many.
So a 410 just has, it's a tiny little shotgun. Like, it's the same.
22 is a rifle. Like,
Right, and there was dudes that hit them.
wow.
Yeah. And because it was just too easy.
Wow, that's funny. Yeah, where was I? Almost shot a cow one time because it was we were out deer hunting, and then I had to go through the cow
How can you
pasture.
miss a cow if you're trying? It's
Well,
quite hard.
we were
It's
out.
if you don't know it's there.
Yeah,
and
well,
you're
we
deer
were out.
hunting.
We were out deer hunting, and then I was done, so I was walking back to the farmhouse, and I walked through the cow pasture because that was a shortcut. And this one cow was. I don't know what it had. It had the crazy eye thing.
Not your buddy.
And it started running straight toward me, and I pulled the rifle up, Winchester. What was it? It was I can't remember which gun it was, but I had this thing
Probably a
cocked and
300.
ready, and I was like, "All right, Cal, you're gonna die before I die." So luckily he turned off sort of last minute, but damn near shot a cow. Well, that would have been really
Jesus.
awkward to explain. Hey, Rusty, I heard a gunshot. Did you get you a deer? No, but I did get a cow.
You know what?
Well-
Jerry Clara's got a great joke about a horse that got shot.
Oh God.
You all got to go out and find that. Just Google Jerry Clower and horse got shot, and you'll find it.
Fellas, y'all are coming to America. They've
We
made
are.
songs about it. They've made movies about it. Everything else. You're coming to a race soon. Tell us about it and what your plans are.
Well, as we've already discussed, I know nothing about the flight plans. I'm just turning up.
That's
So basically, David has no idea that on the 1st of June he's going to America. We're going to Pocono for the whole weekend, which,
Great.
as it turns out, we're really looking. I love Pocono. It's one of those tracks that's completely different to everything else, so I'm really looking forward to it. And we've done that. We're looking for different dates, as you know, and because David's wife's pregnant, we've had to, and obviously with the Euro NASCAR, we've committed sort of pretty much the whole season. We've had to sort of really think about which dates we can do. So Pocono was the one that sort of fitted best. We can't wait. Now we've requested accreditation, which we're still waiting to hear.
It's looking more likely than not likely.
Yeah, we had to sign a form to say
fantastic.
about what is it? The waiver form.
The way we're not allowed to transmit from the track.
Yeah, that's
No,
if we
no
sign-
transmittee from tracky. No.
Yeah, but hopefully they won't watch this because we've got no chance if they do.
well, that's true.
And we did put Euro NASCAR down as a as a reference for us, which may help. So
That's a good in.
Yeah, but we'll be there, whatever. Hoping to sort of meet Jesse Wuji on Friday if he's going to be there, obviously in the ARC series.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We had the pleasure of watching him start the K&N race at Bristol, and then the displeasure of him unfortunately wrecking out in the first
we did,
few laps. That was a bummer. We were really excited because we thought he only did West, and then suddenly he's on the ticket and they're calling him out. We're like, oh hell yeah, we get to watch Jesse, woo! And then
it was
roller coaster.
Excuse me, Julie, that said because I was wearing when we rocked into Bristol, I was wearing my Jesse Owuji shirt.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, is he racing this weekend? I'm like, no, he's K&M West.
Mm-hmm.
And then we start paying a little bit more attention the way we should. And all of a sudden, holy crap, he certainly is there.
Yeah. So, fellas, here's the deal. When you, David, have you been in the U.S. yet before?
I've been to Canada, so that kind of counts, doesn't it?
No,
not even a little
not even
bit.
close.
Shut up with that nonsense.
Yeah, that's America's hat.
America's hat.
So, and Andrew, I almost assume you have. You're the sophisticated one in
Well,
the
he was
bunch.
in Daytona last year.
Oh, what?
What? I've been to the US. I don't know if I've been 3 or 4 times. So
Okay.
I've been a few times.
All right. So
The
about as many
sophisticated one.
times as I've
Exactly.
been here. No, don't take offense to that. Take it as like a badge of honor, right?
Clearly.
The moron of the group. Go on, put him in a corner. Push him over there.
Have you planned what you're going to be wearing yet? Because this is very important.
Yeah.
At a NASCAR race, you get to dress however you want, and it doesn't matter. You'll walk around. You'll see kids walking around with shirts that have the F word on it. You'll see everything. So it is your time to dress up in absolutely anything you want. It can be short shorts that are cut
Don't
off.
dress like a girl.
Yeah, that's probably not. You don't want to be in a sundress or nothing, but you could.
Yeah.
So
I was
still
thinking about cowboy boots. I was thinking like cowboy boots. I was thinking about getting like a cowboy hat
wear
with
cowboy
sneakers
boots.
on it. I was thinking, just put the Power Skiff t-shirt on. Get some. What's a famous jeans brand from America?
Wrangler. You got to
Yeah,
get
Wrangler.
Wrangler. So you get
I
you some
buy Wrangler
cowboy,
jeans, you know
get
I
you
do.
some cowboy cut Wranglers. Get you some Justins or some Laredos.
Yeah, I mean,
And,
now you're talking
I'm gonna
to
walk around with fake 6-shooters and just go, yeah.
Well,
That's how I'm gonna do it.
that might draw a little more attention than you want.
Well,
That's how I'm gonna do it.
Here's what I'm
That's
thinking.
what I'm
Either, not even either. I think I even said this to y'all on like the pre-show when I was doing the quiz on your show. But if you show up in a tank top that has the British flag on it, you would get so
Yes, you
much
did.
positive attention. I don't think you even
either
understand.
a tank top or like cut the sleeves off, like
yeah.
at the collarbone
Right.
area, and have it all jagged, and
Right.
like shitty
Right.
looking.
And people be like, people come up and say, what's the deal with that? And as soon as you start talking, and they're going to be like, oh, hell yeah. So I'm telling you, one of you has to be.
And then you just like slap an MOATF sticker on them. You just hit them with
Boom.
it.
Well, I'm determined to do that to the cars when we go to Brands Hatch. I'm determined to get at least one sticker on the side of one car. That's happening.
I love it. I love it.
I was going to walk around in a fire suit, but now I'm going to feel overdressed.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
No.
But here's the other thing you don't do: don't buy a pair of cheap blue jeans and cut them off. Don't do that.
No,
That's
we
what
wouldn't.
the frat
no,
boys do.
Ooh, yeah.
We'll probably be in all our MOATF branded
Yeah.
T-shirts. I would think
Branded.
we've got a World Tour T-shirt, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
The 2018 World Tour MOATF T-shirt, which neither of us wore at the weekend.
Yeah, we go to Europe and America, but it's a world tour.
Well,
Yeah.
for America, you have to cut the sleeves off. I'm telling you, the sleeves are they're
I hope
required
you
to
have
be gone.
extras where you can whack the sleeves off.
I feel like you're setting us up for failure. I feel
Nah.
like we're going to turn up in like leather jackets, cut off jeans, and
no,
people
no.
are going to be like,
Total A.
what are you doing
are
with
these
your
things?
life?
Y'all
Guys,
Jeans
need
and cowboy boots.
You know what? Y'all need
Rusty's
to
cut the sleeves off of like half the T-shirts that he owns.
That's true. That's true. Y'all need to send me a T-shirt so I can cut the sleeves off, and I will wear it at every track I go to from now on.
All right, we're up
That's-
next
that's
at
fine.
Bristol,
We'll do that.
August.
We can do
Rusty has committed to on Tweet Up Day wearing an MOATF T-shirt
Yes,
with the
lad.
sleeves cut off.
That is 100%, and I will drink to that.
Yep.
That will happen if I can get an MOATF shirt. I will wear it at the Tweet Up. I'll wear it to the race. I ain't changing for after
No,
the Tweet
there's
Up.
no changing.
Yeah. I love.
I've got a question because somebody on the YouTube feed has put no jorts. I've heard this word jorts, but I don't know what they are.
Jean shorts.
Jean shorts.
That's what people from Florida wear.
Yeah, Florida
People in
fans
Florida
wear jean shorts. As it turns out, NASCAR fans wear jean shorts.
Oh yeah,
so jean shorts were a thing in America in the mid '90s.
Man, when we were in school,
and then when I went, so I had one pair of jean shorts that I brought with me to college, and I wore them one time after I joined the fraternity that Rusty and I ended up both being in, and I got a lecture. That those need to go in the trash and to never be worn again. And I obeyed that that
direction.
lecture.
Yeah, so that was a crazy thing. It went from like this is what everybody wears. I mean, in high school, that's what you wore.
Well, we're rednecks. We're from Atlanta, Metro.
You wear the jean shorts. You have your braided belt that was way too long, so it hung down or whatever.
You tied the knot.
Yeah, tie the knot and all
like
that.
We're hanging a fake dong down the side of one leg.
Like it was that was the style, and so you show up to college, you're like, all right, I'm ready, set, go, let's do this. And next thing you know, you look around and nobody's got that on. You go, oh crap, what do I do now? I got to throw away my whole wardrobe. And so I don't know.
It's not even like so. I got less crap over like wearing my overalls for like Halloween than I did over the jean shorts. Like the jean shorts got just thrown away.
Yeah,
you're freshly done with these.
You're done. So either
it sounds like the Hulk. It sounds like you just dress like the Hulk.
Yeah.
Pay me green and then go for that.
So here's the thing: you either don't wear jorts or you do wear them slightly ironically.
There are a lot of college kids that will go to the racetrack because they heard it's a fun place to be, which it is, and they will ironically wear freshly cut off jorts.
And that's okay by me, actually.
And cowboy boots and like tank tops and straw cowboy hats.
That's all good.
And I don't know that I necessarily hate that because that looks like a fun group. I've seen that group of people before.
Have fun, yeah,
They
exactly.
look like they're having fun. Like I've never seen those people get in a fight.
The key to wearing jean shorts, ironically, is you have to cut them slightly too short,
and you have to buy them slightly too tight.
yeah. So everybody's going, if I look the wrong way, I might see something.
Yeah, like you want to cut those things where regular shorts, like a nice pair of golf shorts. It's gonna come 3 or 4 inches before your knee,
something like that.
If you're gonna buy a pair of jeans to ironically be redneck, you want to cut them off about 5 inches short of where your stuff stops, because it looks a little crazy.
All right.
So, we're obviously not from your part of the world, but where we come from, rednecks are not college educated from metropolitan Atlanta.
Well, so
it is. Well, this is the reason why this podcast has been so much fun. Is we get to play both hands. Right? We both grew up on the redneck side of the coin, but we're well educated and we're not dumb.
No, we wouldn't never suggest that we are, but we wouldn't suggest that you are.
Well, no. So there's two sides. There's two things to this. Remember, Jeff Foxworthy, the king of rednecks, he defines redneck as the glorious lack of sophistication.
Yeah, glorious absence of sophistication.
And anytime you're doing something that is a glorious, and every word in that sentence has to be there. It's not just a lack of sophistication because then you're stupid. It has to be a glorious lack of sophistication. One that you just go, you know what? I don't care. I'm doing this. I know it's redneck as hell, but this is what I'm doing.
Right.
And it's almost self-aware. White trash is like the idiocy. That's when redneck turns to just lack of sophistication, is then you're just white trash. But redneck is not only is it that, but it's also worldwide. It's not a southeastern thing. There's rednecks in Maine, there's rednecks in the UK, there's rednecks everywhere. Redneck is a state of mind, is what I'm going for.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, I took a selfie.
See, I that makes me white trash. I don't think I'm intelligent enough to be redneck because it sounds too complicated.
Well, I took a selfie in northern Israel. We were almost to Lebanon, and we went riding around in like open wheel 4x4s, quads.
Yep.
And with cab over, and I took a picture that looked like we were in Arkansas. And I picked on Arkansas for that. But it could have been Arkansas, it could have been Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama. Tennessee. It doesn't matter.
Yep.
There's rednecks everywhere. It is a state of mind. It's not the way you talk.
Right, right. So join us, fellas, in the redneck consortium here.
Yeah.
And
redneck, so that's how you know. I mean, consortium is not a word you're going to hear in a trailer park.
True, that's a $5 word. Or whatever, 4 pounds, 30, whatever.
Yeah, whatever the shit. Can that buy me a beer? Can I get a Guinness at your pub for that?
I will get you a Guinness at our pub for that.
All right, dude.
Yeah, it'd be a bit of a stretch, but you might just about get one.
All right, I'm in.
All right, close enough.
Well, let's tear it down with Bristol, and we're going to the report card. It's time to grade.
Oh, I forgot about the report card.
You forgot about the report card. That's the segment.
Excited.
Yeah, come on, do it. Here it is. First period is Daniel Hemrick.
Sorry, am I allowed to interrupt for a second?
Yes,
Yes.
you are.
Could you spend the next 10 minutes explaining the US grading system to us, please?
Oh, shut the hell up.
A, B, C, D, or F. F is they skipped E.
I know that one.
I
That's
think
what I'm good
F. for
I'm good with
failure.
F. Yeah, I'm good with F.
I think they skipped E because of E for education.
But on this podcast, you can give any letter, number, or phrase that you would like.
That's true. Like a Z minus is one of our favorite grades.
yeah,
to
that's a
give
pretty
to
bad
something.
one. Yeah, if it's a Z
You know,
minus,
I failed religious education for saying that I was a Jedi Knight. So,
well, I think you should have got an A plus. As far as I'm concerned.
100% should have got an A plus.
I mean, I would say
Absolutely.
All right, first period. Daniel Hemrick makes his Cup debut at Richmond in the iconic number 8 for RCR, of course. Grade RCR on this move, Sherwin.
I'm going to give him an A plus for a couple different reasons. First of all, Daniel Hemrick is going to be a badass racer at some point.
Mm-hmm.
If they get their cars right, this kid's got it. He's got all of it, and I'm going to give it then the A plus the next go around for the number that they chose, Ralph Earnhardt. And I'm going to tell you something. I caught a bunch of crap on Twitter because I said, man, that 8 looks a lot like, when they debuted it, it looks a lot like Ralph Earnhart's 8.
Senior.
Ralph, yeah, the Ralph.
Yeah.
Ralph.
Yeah.
Not Dale.
Not Ralph Dale Earnhardt.
Not Dale Jr., Ralph.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people are like, nah, man, it didn't have this, and it's not really the same thing. And Daniel Hemrick goes on Glass Case of Emotion with Kim Kuhn, Ryan Blaney, and Chuck, and says, yeah, we designed it totally after Ralph's number. It's cool. It doesn't look like the old
Vindication.
stylized D. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm on. Get me some.
Yeah. Every
And
once in a
Smoky
while.
Mountain snuff on a cop car. Whoa, that's redneck as hell.
I love it. See there, guys? Redneck. That's
what
it
is snuff?
That's snooze.
Yeah,
snuff.
it's the it's like
Smokeless
herbal
tobacco.
dip that like makes your mouth tingle, but it's not tobacco.
Yeah.
So that's how they can get away with it.
It's not addictive.
I don't know what it is. I've never put it in my mouth, but it's not a drug. Tobacco's left. I mean, that's the reason why Winston got out of NASCAR is that TV said no more tobacco commercials.
Right. FCC had something to say. Anyway, fellas, give us your grade. Daniel Hemrick in the 8.
I'm going to go with I'll go with a B plus. I'll go with. I'm not 100% convinced on Daniel Hemrick yet, but I like seeing the number back. I like seeing the 8. I think that's a good number to still have out there. It's got a lot of history, so yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm just not completely sold on Daniel yet.
Okay.
So that's me.
Andrew.
Yeah, I'll go for an A minus. I think I do like Daniel Hemrick. I think he's. I agree with Shone. He's going to be an absolute badass at some point, and I think it's good. It's great for RCR that they're using the history. They're sort of exploiting it a little bit. But to go back as far as sort of Earnhardt's sort of senior, I think it's probably good marketing. So yeah, good work.
Yeah, and for me, A plus as well. And here's the reason is we've said it before. You don't reserve numbers for anybody. So anytime it's kind of like I shouldn't even say this in soccer, the number 10. That's reserved for the guy. And it feels like the number 8 is reserved for the guy a bit. They're not going to retire the number, But you got to be a guy if you're going to be in the 8.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think Daniel Hemrick can be the guy. I'm looking forward to that. So I like that. I don't know why I drew the soccer thing there, or football.
Well, you're not wrong. What's really funny about this is I grew up playing that sport, and I didn't understand what 10 meant until I was probably in my 20s. Like
you told me what the 10 meant. So.
Yeah, and so and I was already in my 20s, and that was Pele's number, and so that's why that became a thing.
Yeah,
and Diego Maradona, and then now the 10 is a thing. Like a team will.
Is that the same Diego Maradona that cheated England out of a World Cup semi-final?
Same one that scored with a flying punch in the World Cup.
That's him.
Now that's
punch
redneck.
of the ball.
That is redneck.
Second period, Xfinity race at Bristol, Sherwin. Probably one of the most exciting races that you and I have seen in person. For those who might not know, it was a Dash for Cash race, which means it was only Xfinity drivers, no Cup drivers in that race. And then guess what? It was a fantastic race. Grade what you saw at the track for that.
In terms of quality racing, I would say 100.
100. They got
100%. So everybody have a drink.
Well,
That is the absolute, without a doubt, best Xfinity product we've ever seen at Bristol, and
maybe ever.
We've been to about 10 of them now. And
10 Bristol Xfinity.
Yeah, just Bristol.
Just Bristol.
Yeah. And
how many Xfinity races did we see?
And I would say I don't even know. I don't even want to I like the idea of the Dash for Cash, and they let the Xfinity guys duke it out. I don't know that necessarily impacted the race that much. I'm glad that an Xfinity guy got to win, especially who it was with Priest.
Oh yeah,
like this guy he's very much on the Hemrick scale, except for he's driving a much better car.
Right.
And to me, it's whatever the top grade you would apply. Are we playing hundreds? We playing A pluses? Whatever we're doing. That race, I was so happy with that race. I wasn't even that upset that we had to go home.
Yeah.
Before the next race.
Yeah. And I mean, we got to see the K&N as well. So we at least saw 450 laps of racing this weekend.
We got to ride. Yeah, we got to watch almost a 500.
Yeah. So, fellas, did y'all see any of that, or did you see any replay of that?
I haven't seen it because
I'm
a terrible human
unfortunately,
being.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I listened to your sort of take on it, or read it on Twitter rather, but no, unfortunately, I haven't seen that one.
It's all good. If you do get a chance to see it, Sherwin, what was incredible for me, and I'm giving another A+ here, 2 A+ in a row, because you remember Elliott Sadler being 2 laps down, and Spotter Brett even on the mic, he was just kind of like, "Hey man, you got to hang in there. We got to, we still got to run this race." He was back on the lead lap in 50 laps after that, and then was contending for the win. It was so cool to see.
Straight.
And he wasn't the only one. There was so many guys just coming up through the field. Oh yeah, make it happen. There's so many guys just coming up through the field, and the race among people who were 1 lap down, 2 laps down, and then at the lead, everything. There was so much to follow in that race, and seeing what was going on. I don't know.
They did it right.
I said it right.
The grip boogers.
Yep.
They did it right.
Yep. And I think a lot of that really had to do with there not being a Cup guy in that race. And I have been pretty neutral about Cup drivers in Xfinity, and I think I am now that has pushed me over that whatever knife's edge there was to say, all right, you know what, let's keep Cup drivers out of this thing because they can stand on their own with the product of racing that they have.
Whew. And that's why I'd say let's go ahead and
give it
have
some time.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have a couple more of these for sure. And the issue I always have taken up on Twitter is not that I don't love Kyle Busch or Ryan Blaney or Joey Logano or Brad Keselowski kicking everybody's ass in the Xfinity.
Mm-hmm.
What I do love is the fact that we get a Saturday series to watch because there are companies willing to pay money to make sure that series is on TV. Mm-hmm. And so that, to me, is the thing I'm most protective of. If you go watch that Bristol race, that TV product had to have been fantastic because the in-person product was fantastic, and the Cup guys weren't there. Mm-hmm. So let's figure out a way to operate in this space in such a way that we always get a product.
Yeah. All right, third period. I like this one, Sherwin. Matt Weaver reporting that 90-year-old Herschel McGriff. And by the way, if you're 90 years old and your name's Herschel McGriff, you've already won.
Well, that's like a combination of two Georgia heroes, right?
Yeah, Herschel Walker and Fred McGriff.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. Herschel McGriff, I love that. And we're not Herschel Walker, fans, quote unquote. In terms
as a human, for sure. Who he played for in college, no, sir.
Yeah, obviously. But as a human, Herschel Walker's man. Anyway, Herschel McGriff has entered the K&N West race at Tucson in championship-level equipment. This ain't like some, who cares guy.
Yeah, he's not getting
around.
in a rat rod.
90 years old. His chance of getting a top 15 in a K&N West championship-level equipment. I put it top 15. There's maybe, 25, 30 cars on the track?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Finishing in
30,
the top half
30-ish.
At 90 years old in a championship-level car. Give us a grade.
Yeah. I'm going to give it A+, and I'm going to give a hats off and a cheers because it just makes sense to do so. This is the right moment, I think. 90 years old, I'm going to give him A+. I'm going to take hat off because Ms. Barbara Bush passed this week, 92 Bummer. Years old.
Well, cheers.
She was 92, and he's 90, and he's getting in a race car.
Holy cow.
How about a badass?
Holy cow. Yeah. Fellas, have y'all heard about this? Or what do you think his chances?
100%. Go on, you go first.
Well, I was about to say that you're 4,000 years old, so surely that's a thing.
Methuselah.
This is cool. This gives me hope yet to be a cup driver, that's for sure.
Driver.
That's it. A 90-year-old, I'm going to be a cup driver. Watch this space. No, I love it. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I don't think age should define what you do. It's gonna be cool to watch him go. That's for sure. So, and I heard about the Barbara thing as well. Hats off to that.
He's laughing. He can't hold it back.
I think
he doesn't even know what to say.
I think he's lied about his birth certificate. So I saw a picture. There's no way he's 90 years old. He's probably about 60, 65, maybe 70.
I love it. He does look pretty young.
He does look pretty young, but I think it's great. And sort of, we spoke about it, a few times. I used to race. I was pretty useless, it has to be said, but, I constantly think about doing it again. And I think, well, I'm 44 and, maybe I'm getting too old to do it again. But he's 90, so there's plenty of time for me, yeah? David. I'm waiting for the call from Frank Williams.
You can have double your life again and still be short of him.
So here's the thing. Here's what's crazy. And I don't have any racing skills. But
neither do I. That's why I stopped.
Harry Gant did not start his racing career until he was 38 years old, which means I've got 10 more months to figure this out.
To figure something out, yeah, to make something happen. I'm going to give this a B, and here's the reason, Sherwin. You remember, this was probably 8 or 10 years ago. Me, you, and Clark, a buddy of ours, we went and played golf, and they paired us up with a 92-year-old dude.
Oh, Les.
Les was his name. Now, here's the deal, y'all. Les was 92 years old. He was smoking on a Winston Churchill cigar. This thing was 10 inches long. Yeah. And here's what he would do.
Inch and a half in diameter.
Every hole, and he didn't care. Mm-hmm. Every hole, he would say, all right, I'm going to drive up, and I'm going to hit from, he hit from like beyond the ladies' tees, which good for him. He's 92 years old.
He hit the green tees.
Yeah. He was 92 years old. He can do whatever the hell he wants to do. We had no problem with that. The problem that we had was that we're not good golfers. and so Les would go right in the middle of the fairway, and then he would wave his arm like, y'all go ahead and hit. And we were going, I do not want to be responsible for killing Les.
Right.
He's 92 years old. If I hit him, he will die. And our whole game was don't kill Les. I think we all hit like 130 that day because we were just trying to avoid the middle of the fairway on our first shot.
Somebody hit a screamer that was like,
oh, that could be Les. This could be it. We don't want to explain to his grandchildren and great-grandchildren and great-great-grandchildren that we were the ones that killed Les. So here's the thing.
That was a really fun round of golf.
So I'm giving it a B or B plus because you don't want to be the driver. Respect to the guy, 90 years old, but you don't want to be the one that kills Herschel, right? If he just gets the wrong kind of tap, something could happen. Don't kill.
Don't kill Les.
Don't kill Les is my point there.
Don't kill Herschel.
It's time for fourth period.
Go
ahead.
Can I say a couple of things on that?
Please do.
Juan Manuel Fangio.
What?
Was nearly 40 when he started in Formula One.
One man job a devil.
He won the Formula One World Championship 5 times, as most race fans will know. And the other thing I was going to say about golf is I used to play golf reasonably well when I was younger. I'm pretty rubbish now, but what we used to do on the course we used to play at as a junior, as under 16, you had no status, so everybody could play through this. Oh yeah, we're coming past you, basically. So, but you obviously get the old doddery people that are absolutely useless. So we used to just hit balls at them to get them out of the way.
I love it.
So I'm afraid I'm not quite as nice about it as you are.
I have. So I've been addressing a shot and had a ball roll up into my foot, and I know that we weren't playing slow, and I picked that ball up and like showed it to the people behind us.
Oh yeah, you have to present it first,
and they're like, yeah. And then I pulled a tee out of my pocket, and I hit that ball into the woods. And I'm like, this is how it's going to go. We both have a 3-iron. If you want to come down here, I got the same reach.
Yeah, we're good. We can
Don't
play
use
sticks.
the 3-iron anymore.
Oh, it's time for fourth period. Grade the racing that you saw in your respective areas for the main event. So for y'all, it's Valencia, Italy.
Italy, right.
I keep having to do it.
Italy.
Spain, with apparently Alain Day from Tel Aviv sweeping the weekend.
Alain, very Israeli name.
Yep. So tell us about, give us a grade on the racing you saw.
A+. Absolutely superb.
I'm going Duracell. I'm going A++.
Boom.
A++, because it was great.
Yeah, it was absolutely. The racing's great. It's road courses. Everybody knows road courses and short tracks make the best racing. And obviously we're mainly road courses, and the cars they're a handful to drive. The drivers, don't mind giving it a go because it's not the most expensive form of racing there is either in Europe. So I guess the bit of damage doesn't hurt so much. Yeah, it was great. And Alain Day, he actually went into the cleaner's cupboard and found a broom.
A broom? You doctored that for Americanized, that did.
Yeah, we were up on the podium, and I did a brush. He came out with a broom onto the podium and did his sweepy thing, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then somebody came out telling him to put that broom back in the cupboard where you got it from.
Put the broom back in the cupboard. I love it.
But there's a broom back.
Well, so, it was great. It was, A+.
Well, there's two things that make for great racing. It's you got to have more power than you have mechanical grip.
Yeah.
And B, you need cars close together.
Yeah.
And
there's plenty of that that were inside each other at one point.
Yeah, road courses and short tracks seem to do that.
Yeah. With the tight turning and stuff. Yeah. For us, grade the racing we saw. I mean, on Saturday, A+. On Sunday, we got up and it's well documented at this point and said it's going to snow tomorrow morning. Snow on Monday morning,
which it did,
and it's probably going to rain out today, which it essentially did. I mean, they were 46. That was cutting it shorter than we thought it might. So we drove back Sunday morning with tickets burning a hole in our pocket.
We went to the Tweet Up. We met with Bob Pockrass, who we've met probably 20 times at this point. I shook Bill Goldberg, the WWE wrestler's hand, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Thanked him for being there. We got to talk with who
Aaron.
Else did we get to speak? Aaron Bearden.
Yeah, we hung out with Aaron
Absolutely
for a long time.
Got to talk with. We talked with Aaron almost an hour. It felt like.
Yeah.
But it was already raining. We walked up in our ponchos. We knew what we were doing. We were leaving.
Yep, we're out of here. Oh, we saw Ed Clark.
That's right.
That was cool.
I saw Ed, and we talked to him very briefly, and
that was kind of funny because Bob Pockrass tried to introduce Ed Clark to us, and Ed's like, "Oh no, I know these guys. We go back."
Yeah, that was probably the most celebrity status we've ever had.
Yeah.
Was Bob Pockrass of ESPN for 15 years now, saying, "Oh, hey, these guys, they're from Atlanta and they do a podcast," and it's like, I know who these guys are.
Yeah, president of Atlanta Motor Speedway going, "Oh no, we go back, y'all. We're good. We're good." So that was fun. That was like, oh crap, we're actually people know us. All right. Time for fifth period. Fifth period, the weather at your respective tracks this weekend. MOATF, tell us what's up.
It's too hot.
It's 100%. It was A+. It was beautiful. It was 30. What is it in Fahrenheit? I don't know what Fahrenheit is.
Fahrenheit's that weird thing that they use that doesn't make any sense to anything other than them.
Oh, it's no, it's
Fact.
cool. You just double it and add 30. So what was it in?
Oh, okay. About
30.
80.
There you go.
So,
80 degrees. Yeah,
about
perfect.
80. About 80 degrees. Yeah.
That's
about
what it was
80
on
degrees. It was
Friday
too
when we
hot,
got to
so
Bristol.
F minus.
No, I'm 100%. I'm A plus. I love the sun. Yeah.
So David, F minus from you.
100% F minus. It was far too hot. I mean, I burnt my skin.
100%.
I was wearing jeans. It was too hot. I was sweating. There's no aircon.
Well,
No.
So this
F,
your
F minus.
this your own fault.
Oh, y'all call it air con?
Aircon. That's
Yeah,
okay.
aircon. Yeah.
You know,
Aircon.
All right.
Aircon.
Uh,
What do you guys call it?
well,
AC.
AC. Yeah. So here's the
Oh
deal.
yeah, I forgot you kind of like make it simpler, don't you? Make the words
So
slightly simpler.
here's the deal. You have to
Efficient.
when you come to Pocono in June, it's gonna be hot. Do not wear jeans. You have to wear shorts.
Wear jean shorts.
Wear jean shorts and the cutoff shirt that we've been talking about. Sherwin, we had A+ weather on Saturday, and we had Z minus weather on Sunday, and Z minus weather on Monday morning, which we weren't even there for. I'll tell y'all what. This is the unsung part of camping when it rains. We took down our campsite. We drive back to Atlanta. It had already rained on us and everything, and it poured rain all the way back to Atlanta.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So we had 4.5 hour, actually turned into 5.5 hour drive just because, having to go slower.
Not going fast. Yeah.
So we get back to Atlanta, and guess what? On Monday, I had to take our entire campsite and set it back up in my driveway by myself
To dry it out.
So like the lawn comes back out, the canopy comes out, the tent I had to set up, the rain fly, the tarps, everything. I had to set it all back up and let it dry out. And it was cold and windy on Monday, so it didn't even dry out fast. Sometimes if it's like warm or something, it was one of the summer ones, like August Bristol. If that rains out and we come back and it's dry, it'll dry out in 30 minutes. But it took 4 hours for it to dry out. It's the unsung thing that you have to do. Otherwise, it's just all mildewy next time.
Oh, it gets nasty.
Yeah, it gets
No,
gross.
so I found.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
I found that out the hard way. Not that I hadn't already learned the hard way. I learned from you when I went to Darlington without you.
Mm-hmm.
I came back home and did that. I set the tent up
Mm-hmm.
to let it dry out and stuff. But I got in my car yesterday to go to happy hour with some friends, and the whole car was in trouble. It stunk. And the only thing that was inside the cab, was the cardboard box. And I'm like, well, did we leave food in there somehow? And I looked through it, and I'm like, there's no food in here. And then so I went in the trunk, and I'm like, the only thing in here, the front porch, which was the side porch,
you had
was
a lawn.
wet.
Yeah, yep. That'll do
I took it out, car stopped stinking.
Well, that'll happen.
So on the camping thing, I went to Le Mans 24 Hours, probably 15 years on the bounce. I haven't been for a while, but and I
have no idea what on the bounce means, but
I say
he's
in
rolling.
a row. In a row, yeah, 15 years on the bounce, and I bought 15 sets of camping kit because
oh my gosh.
you just leave it there.
Oh, you just leave
You
it.
don't bring it home. You don't dry it out. You don't put it on the driveway. You just leave it where it was.
You just set it on fire.
Yeah, set it on fire, leave it where it
There
was,
you
and
go.
just buy some more next year.
Kids, play with fire. This is where we're at.
Well, if you budget that way and you go to Walmart, you can definitely that's definitely a possibility.
Yeah, if you got good stuff, you wouldn't want to do that, but you just buy the cheap stuff and leave it where it was.
all right, y'all.
That's happened a bunch. We actually collected somebody's chairs one year. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
we did that.
I
I actually
when we were still poor, college students.
2 years ago at Bristol, I went and bought because I forgot my cot at home. So we went to Walmart. I bought a cot, used it for the race, and then returned
took
it
it back,
for
yeah.
full money later on. And I was
God
like,
bless
Oh
Walmart.
wow.
oh yeah,
Well,
well, they'll
take
take back
anything.
Right, we're thinking what's a cot? That's what we're thinking.
Yeah,
It's,
what-
a cot is what a baby sleeps in.
It's
A portable bed,
a portable bed, essentially. Yeah, that you fold out and it sits up.
like the military would use.
Yeah.
A camp
You mean
bed.
camp cots?
Well, I mean, you just use the word cot, so yeah, there you go.
We said we were camping, and we said portable as an
A
adjective.
cot
to
is what a
cod.
baby sleeps in.
That's
With
not a big
sides
stretch.
and bars and
Well, you sleep like a baby on a camp cot. There you go.
There you go.
All you got to
Perfect.
do is get
Perfect.
hammered.
I
and you
slept
put
like a
in
baby.
your earplugs, and you're fine.
Yep, perfect.
Get smashed.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, that's what we do at races.
This is a perfect segue into recess. It's time for recess.
Oh yeah. Is that our last?
That's our last period here is recess.
last period's recess.
And so, David, actually, Andrew, me and you are going to get to judge or grade Sherwin and David because I'm picking on them as the the color guys here. So, David, I know when you had a hilarious bit a few weeks ago when Clint Boyer won because you said, I'm going to do the whole podcast in an American accent, right? And so your piece was fantastic, and I laughed my butt off, and it was perfect. So for you, I have put together, and I'm going to text it to you right now, I've put together a sentence that you need to say in an American Southern accent, and then I've also put together a sentence for Sherwin to say in a British accent.
Uh-oh.
And we're going to grade. Me and Andrew are going to grade. So, David, are you ready for your sentence?
Oh dear Lord. Go on
Okay.
then. What is it?
Here it is. Yeah. Now you have to say it in your best.
Well, remember he was trying to do a southern accent.
Right. So this is a Southern phrase that I need in a Southern accent. I've just texted it to you.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Let me get this round my head.
You got-
before I try to say this.
I love it.
You're gonna win, by the way. You know this, right?
What?
No matter what happens. Sherwin, I'm going to text you yours right now, just so that you can, in your mind, understand what's going on. So, did you get it, Sherwin?
Yeah. I got it.
Okay. All right. So, David, you've got yours. Sherwin has got his. So,
Right.
David, kick us off.
Me and Peggy are fixing to head down to Piggy Wiggy's. Y'all need anything?
That was awesome.
So this
Piggly Wiggly. I grew up going to Piggly Wiggly with my pawpaw.
Right. I mean, that's what you did down here. So David said,
Wiggy's.
me and Peggy are fixing to head down to the Piggly Wiggly. Y'all need anything?
Nailed it.
You gave me more syllables.
Well, no. So the length of sentence is within two characters of each other. So that's why I did that. So Andrew, give David a grade on that one.
well, obviously, it's Z minus the worst.
Oh, really?
Zed.
Zed.
He doesn't get praise from
Weirdos.
me for anything. So Z minus.
I love it. I'm going to give him a straight C. Like that, it's a passing grade.
What?
It's not. I mean, come on now. Me and Peggy are fixing to head down the Piggly Wiggly. Y'all need anything? Like that's kind of that rolls off the tongue pretty well.
Nah,
And,
boy,
and
don't
also,
you start
the
with me, boy.
first couple of words sounded like quite posh English.
You know what's funny is like the southern accent was developed out of the like English and Scotch and mostly Scots and Irish people that moved to Georgia.
Right.
Like, that's where the southern accent comes from.
So now I'm going to text. Actually, I'm going to text you, Andrew and David, what I just sent to Sherwin as well, and he has to do this in a British accent. And y'all are laughing. So it's his best British. I don't even know. And so here's the thing. I probably should have polled y'all for this because I have no idea if this is something that actually makes sense. It's just something that I pulled as kind of like here's typical things that I've heard British people say, and I put it all in one sentence. So anyway.
That's actually the funniest thing I've ever read, I think.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I'll give that.
So I have to stop laughing or I can't do this.
Right. All right.
All right.
Here we go.
Oh, my God. Bloody hell, that tosser pulled such a blinder that I nearly wet my knickers.
I didn't know Dick Van Dyke had joined us.
Hey, man, that dude's badass.
I love it. So I need one of y'all actually to read that to tell us like what that would actually sound like if somebody said it. Who's going to do it?
It'll have to be Andy because he's the posh one.
Okay, Andy, go for it.
I've got to find it again now.
Oh, okay. Well, I texted it over to you.
Talkman. Oh, there you go. I feel like I need to do it in a posh voice now. bloody hell, that tosser pulled such a blinder that I nearly wet my knickers.
That was different than what I did.
That's perfect. That's.
I think I did mine in an Australian
You're
accent.
sounding a little Australian. You're like, bloody hell. I don't even know.
The only thing you were missing was "Gore blimey, Mary Poppins."
So
I
Andrew,
was trying.
Andrew, give Sherwin a grade on his.
That was definitely an A+ for comedy value. That was superb.
Yes.
All right, I'm going for Sherwin. I hate it for you, but that's a D. Like
D for
like
done.
D is for
done.
D is for done. It worked. It's not a fail. You don't have to repeat the class. But
it's outside of major.
If we're in the same,
D for done.
yeah, if we're in the same class, I think David got you on that one. So
I think I've been done over here with grading. Is what I've been done.
Man, I think I got hosed on that one, but that's just me.
I love it. I love it. Oh, it's on to the Ask PETM questions we've got from Mick Rose at GoDucks42_Mick. Are teams just lobbying for their old pit guns, or they're really the pit gun failing, or they're really pit guns failing every week? That sentence came out a little weird, but fellas, y'all take this one over.
They cry too much. Teams cry too much about pit guns. Just get over it. Just get on with it. Stop whinging and whining about pit guns. Yes, they break. Just get on with it.
I like it.
Yeah, I agree with that, but it's slightly a more sensible answer to that from me is motorsport people are highly competitive. You know, they are ultra competitive, certainly at that level. And any little advantage they can get, they'll take. And the big teams are going to cry about it because they want their advantage back because they can afford it. Small teams love it because it kind of levels the playing field a bit.
Sherwin, I think it was Orange Cone who I would have to go back and look. But he tweeted this very succinctly as a question that was pretty much, it's interesting, or not even a question, but like as a hypothetical or as like a rhetorical. It's interesting that the folks who are complaining the most about, or the only ones complaining about pit guns, are the ones who are, and I would have to go back and look, but it essentially meant the top teams who had the crazy pit guns before. Like, There's no small teams complaining about pit guns right now. There's no Levine Family Racing is not complaining about pit guns, and to an extent, like Roush is not really complaining about pit guns. I mean, there's a select few who are complaining about them and who have issues, and it's pretty much SHR and Joe Gibbs.
I would take that one step further, and I would say Joe Gibbs is complaining about pit guns. And Kevin Harvick.
I said SHR as if I'm
pit guns. Mm-hmm. And to David's point, what I would say is shut up and race.
Yeah.
You have a new paradigm to adapt to. Your pit stop is not going to be as fast. We have not adopted a fueling system that matches what last year and the previous 2 or 3 years has been. You're dropping the jack before the guys finish putting the lugs on.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it. Everybody's got the same toy.
Yeah.
Play with your toy.
I love it. I like that. William Soki at William Soquet says, when does the burning of the Snickers apparel start now that there's a new favorite driver, David?
Cheater. It will never. I mean, I can't burn this. This is my burning family. This is.
And firstly, that's not how you pronounce his name. He just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand. Suke. He's Dutch. Damn
it. He's Flemish, and I was what was that? I was corrected over DM on how you say his name, and it's Soki. So. That's that.
There it is. Yep. Regardless of what
either way,
we obviously know that because he's corrected us as well, but he's still wrong.
Well, that's fine. I think you'll find some humor in that.
Well, I remember that. I remember your episode where you were very confident about the pronunciation of it, and then got told otherwise.
Well, we had this thing about having the cup race at Lime Rock. But somebody, not mentioning any names, Rusty, Sherwin, poo-pooed the idea.
Poo-pooed? You're using our words. I like it.
There are words. Hold on. We started this.
You started poo-poo?
It's an English thing. Yeah, poo-poo is an English thing.
Okay.
We want the Cup Series to go to Lime Rock, but apparently it's not a good place to have it. That's what I'm saying.
Lime Rock? Was that
I know that place exists, but like, look, I'm not going to give you a race that we could have in the States. I mean, what the hell are you
what
talking
is
about?
this? Yeah, right. Back to 1776.
That's
Independence, baby. All right.
What was the question from William again?
It was.
He wanted me to burn stuff.
It was, when does the burning of the Snickers apparel start now that there's a new favorite driver?
Well, if I could get away with it, it'd be like instantly.
He pulled the sticker off my other hat. All right, I'm very upset about this. Right, they have stickers on. Right, you're not meant to take these off.
Oh,
Look, can
you
see it on the
have to
screen.
take
Oh,
no.
you're one of the
You have to
sticker
take
people.
the
No,
stickers
no.
off.
You have to
No.
take
Yeah, I
stickers off.
see. Adult,
If you want to be a redneck,
adults,
you got to
the
take
sticker
that
off.
sticker off.
No, the sticker stays. All right, now it's
People that
from.
walk around with the jeans halfway down their arse don't take the stickers off. Adults
Yes.
take the sticker off.
Look, the sticker's there.
Andy's
It'll
got
stay
it
on there.
nailed.
You've taken my other one. I'm keeping this one.
Well, at least, David, at least if you're bringing that hat to the U.S., you gotta work the bill of that hat a bit more. It's got to be more round. Like
I like it. I like it this much. You guys have it 2 round. You have it like
no.
like a-
no.
you have it like
No.
10.
It's cool. You
No,
got.
there's only one correct way.
That's it.
and that's where we're at.
Yeah.
I can't believe
Anyway,
I'm taking advice.
When I buy a hat and it won't like fit like this, I don't wear it anymore.
right. Sherwin got his wicked weed that we
I
visited
do
on
have
the
my
way
wicked weed hat on
through.
that I bought last weekend.
So last week we had the words that sound dirty but aren't, and that was moist.
Moist.
As I threw out there.
Yeah,
but Roger,
Beautiful
Roger
word.
That's a
Diamond
great word.
came to us and said, here's another one for y'all. Macerate.
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 It sounds
Sounds like it could be bad,
well.
but
It's really close to masturbate.
right? We'll just throw that one out there. So is like masticate, right? But macerate is our
macerate.
word there, and of course it means if you've ever done any
It sounds like there could be a felony involved. too.
macerate somebody,
Yeah.
yeah. But it just means to, like soak something in something else. So like the reason I know what the word means is because of liquor, right?
Yes.
So macerating
It's like
in
it's like the original meaning is like you soak something in order to make it softer.
right. So macerate is that one, fellas. Do y'all know any other words that sound a little bit sideways but aren't quite there?
I don't know if I can say it. I don't know if it's acceptable.
Say it. It's we're
We'll figure it out at this point.
We're in the second. We're in like hour and 20 minutes of the podcast. So if people have listened this far, then anything goes.
There's a horrible word that people use, and it's gush.
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 Oh, yeah,
is a
that's
horrible
A
word.
gusher?
Yeah, like
Oh,
gush.
I think I know what that is.
No,
And that
so
is- that's horrible.
we use that
It's
like
just as bad as moist.
Well, similar vein.
I've never thought of that because like when the cats like they making biscuits as we call it.
Oh yeah,
But
need.
we also call that they're gushing. Like they gush on the whatever, on the couch or whatever. So gush. Okay, there's one. Andy, you got any?
There you go.
Unfortunately, I don't have the intelligence for subtlety, so I don't think any words that I know are repeatable.
Here's my
Well,
favorite.
bloody hell.
Exactly.
Bloody hell, Gavin.
here's my favorite is me and the wife went to Japan and they have a sports drink. It's like Gatorade or something, and they're Gatorade. So you get off. It's you get off a mountain. You've been like sweating. It's time to drink something. You want to rehydrate, and it's CALPIS, which means you're done hiking and everything, and it's time to chug some cow piss. So y'all look that up. It exists. It's CALPIS. It sounds like something that a cow pees, but it's actually calpis. But you're like, hey, give me a cow piss.
Well, and that's yeah.
So
Let me just get this. I'm going to send it to. I'm going to send it here. You'll see this in a second.
Uh-oh.
This
Dead air.
is a real thing in the UK.
Dead
Uh-oh.
air.
I've just sent you it.
I've got to
is a-
switch scenes so I can or switch this up so I can see it
Uh-oh.
and go click on it.
Uh-oh.
Oh God! Don't do it on
Messing
this
around
stream.
on the internet now, y'all.
No,
things are getting really sideways.
There's in the UK. There's apparently a carbonated energy drink that it's equivalent to like a euphemism for a cat.
Oh wow!
Right, and that's just what it's called.
And
It's
that's
called,
not a word for y'all.
It's called Cat Drinks Limited, and it's called It's an energy drink. It's not. It doesn't even say energy drink afterwards. It's just called that word, that meow, that the P word.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about. The one
I love it.
Like we said, the ones that we're not allowed to say in the States have the U. If it's got a U in it, you can probably gonna have to stay away from it.
Now, there's nothing better.
I love it.
This. There's nothing better to then putting that on a self-scanning, system, that you get in the supermarket, and it just bleeps up, in big words that across the screen. It's great.
I love it.
David, say the word. We're British. That's just a word. It's like, just a word.
No, I'm not saying it.
But we can say like tosser and
it's
punter and
puncher, tosser.
What's one of those that
bloody hell? Well, we already did that.
Yeah, there's some that in that are bad that we can't do. But so on your podcast, we'll say all those words that we're not allowed to say in the U.S.
Oh yeah,
that's it. Yeah, you can get
that's
away
fine.
with it. Fine.
That's absolutely fine because they're probably fine over here.
Right.
All right, y'all just have it.
What's one of the other ones? It's alongside
y'all
the same.
Definitely got some words.
No, there's one that's just like tosser and punter that is like you shouldn't say. But
can I say it begin with W? Am I allowed to say it?
Wanker. That's the one.
Wanker.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh, Wanker's fine over here.
I wasn't sure if I was allowed to say it on your podcast.
You've got to slow it down, guys. You can't say it too quick. You've got to slow it down.
Yeah, it's got to be a bit slower than that.
It's got to be a wanker.
Wanker.
There you go.
Remember, I didn't say it right when I was on your show, but now I think I got a wanker.
Yeah, it's a wanker.
I don't know why you've turned South African. You've literally you've turned South African all of a sudden.
South African, wow.
Well, it's better than being, I guess, the only noises that we really know that, like, y'all make some of the same noises as guys from Boston. All right, Jumpy Bob, let's not use that word. Come on, man.
That word is in the UK is for a cigarette, and that is a word that we use for cigarette.
I know, and that word has been eradicated from our vocabulary because it has only ever meant something mean.
Right. That's only been negative. So here we go. Time to gas it up. We are going to where are we going? We're going to Richmond, which is. Are we going to Richmond, Sherwin? Are you like looking at me funny?
Oh, I didn't mean to.
Oh.
I'm just listening.
I was like, oh crap! Did I get the wrong one? No,
we're definitely going to Richmond.
Yeah, we're going to Richmond. So the cool part about Richmond, so I went to Richmond a few years ago. Me and the wife went out to Busch Gardens.
Yeah, go Rusty, go!
Yeah, and that was the one. I know we've said it on the podcast before, but we passed Richmond Raceway on the way there because we flew into Richmond, then we went to Busch Gardens. We always do Roller Coaster Park for our anniversary, and so. On our way back, I was like, we got to stop at Richmond. And we go up there, and I walk up to the fence, like the gate that's around Richmond. And this guy comes up in this security truck, and he's like, we can, and I thought he was going to be like, you got to go, But he goes, what you doing, man? I'm like, man, I'm just a big NASCAR fan. I've never been to Richmond before. I just, want to look at the track. I'll get gone if you need me to. He goes, oh, no, I'll let you in. You want to go in? I'm like, well, hell yes, I want to go in. So I go in, I go down to the track, and
Don't ask a redneck if they want to go into the racetrack.
Right? And so now I'm up against the track on that fence, on the fence that's on the track, looking around and having a good old time. And dude comes up to me and says, all right, man, so my boss is watching, and it's probably not kosher that I let you in, but, it ain't going to get me fired or nothing, but I probably need you to, go ahead and scoot. And I'm like, dude, this is all, this is more than I expected, so we're good. He goes, and by the way, if you want to, for $20, they'll let you run around the track. They start in 15 minutes. You can just do laps around the track. And I go, I'm in a rental car. That is, I don't know how to say it other than that is the
it's
fastest $20 that I like. There was a time in my life where $20 actually meant something. And even when it meant something, that would have been the fastest $20 I ever spent.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So I sandbagged a bit. There was a pace car that was trying to keep everybody at 50 miles an hour, of course. So I'm like, I'm in a rental. What's the worst they do? They kick me out or I crash. I'm in a rental. I don't give a crap.
Right.
So I held way back and then punched it. And my wife has video of me screaming, "Woo, NASCAR!" when I did not know that she was.
I've seen the footage. It is exactly what you would expect from this podcast.
Right. I was
before this podcast even existed.
Oh yeah. Completely sober.
We'll
too,
have to put that video up somewhere. At some point.
It was fun. She was laughing her butt off. I did not know she was recording. And I'm just screaming, "Woo, NASCAR!" and going 80 miles an hour around the turns at Richmond.
Oh yeah.
So
it's fast.
That's my Richmond story. Who are we picking for Richmond? Let's let our guests go first. Andrew, David, what's your picks for Richmond?
I'm going Carl Larson. That's who I'm going with. Carl Larson.
That was quick. He's already
We've
in
picked
there.
Larson in the fantasy because I get overruled every week. But I think Kyle Busch is going to go 3 on the bounce.
He's not going to go free on the bounce. That's not going to happen.
3 on the bounce.
No, I think he is.
Kyle Busch. Wow.
Man.
So, I mean, Kyle Busch, is this one of the tracks? No, he's won it at Richmond, but it's been a long time. So
Oh,
Yeah, he's not.
He's won 4 times at Richmond, doesn't he?
Okay. So, but it's been a while since he did, I think. So
Yeah, that's true. That's
looking
true.
it up- yeah, 2012. So it's actually been
Yep.
6 years. So he's coming back around and 3-time. Sherwin, I really like your back-to-back call last week. And wait. You called it last week, so you deserve the horn. We got to give you that.
Give me the foghorn.
There you go. The foghorn is yours for that one. Like the most disappointing horn ever, but you get to have it when there's a win. Who you got?
Well, so a couple different things on that before I make my pick. Obviously, one of the coolest things that's happened in the space that is podcasting, especially with the professionals, is what Dale Jr. and Kyle did this week, burying the hatchet from
really good.
that Richmond race in 2008.
Mhm.
And so if you haven't listened to that, you should. We'd love for you to pay attention to what we're doing. That podcast is going to set the record for NASCAR podcasts in terms of number of listens and downloads and everything else, and it should, because it's awesome. It's going to give you a perspective on Kyle Busch that you probably never had before, which is fantastic, because human beings are human beings, and that's what we want in this space. And as far as Richmond goes, I'm going to go ahead and lean on the guy that's already won a short track race, Clint Boyer.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice. I like that pick. Speaking, Sherwin, of burying the hatchet, and I'm not burying the hatchet here, but there's somebody who's a really good racer, is a winner here, but that I rarely ever pick just because of personal vendettas, reasons, whatever. But for the sake of there's 4 of us picking here, I got to go Denny Hamlin on this one. Denny has won here. I know there's double birds coming at me right here, but Denny's he's been running well, and he runs well here. I think he's.
I can't wait to hear him get booed by all the Chase Elliott fans.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's Chase. There's a good pick there.
Hell,
too.
he's probably going to do what we weren't even able to see what he was going to do at Bristol because he wrecked out on the 3rd lap.
Yeah. All right, fellas, it's time for Stranger Stang.
Y'all know what this thing is.
Yeah, y'all have heard the show before. You know what's going on. This is probably pretty offensive to y'all, so why not?
Why not?
She says, why do British singers lose their accent when they're performing?
I'd love to know that.
I suspect something to do with record sales.
Record sales.
So here's the other question, the accompanying question of that is, you guys, obviously you probably have music within region that we never even hear about, and you have your own style of music that you both like. But from our perspective, the music that comes across the big pond and gets to us, it's like we don't obviously know that they are English or British or Scottish or whatever, because when they start to sing, the accent goes away.
Well, some of them do. Like, you remember the Proclaimers? Like, I would walk 500 miles an hour. Like, they were totally. They sounded Scottish, and they're Scottish.
So they're
unapologetic.
I agree with you, but if you think about the big ones that, I mean, even who was it?
But even the Beatles, in a way,
some of them, but some of them not.
Right.
So I think the question really is about how does what is your perspective on singing flattens an accent,
or does it? Does it still sound British to you? I'm curious.
It depends on what you're listening to, I suppose.
Yeah.
If you're listening to things that have made it over to the other side of the pond, then they are going to have a distinct kind of accent, like One Direction, that sort of thing. But if
I never knew they were
things
British for like a week ago.
you listen to grime. Grime is very much British. So yeah, you have to give that a listen, but it's probably not something you like.
Well, I didn't think so. Bush would be something that we listened to when we were teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have known that they were from the UK unless I had read about them. Like Gavin Rossdale to me doesn't sound like a British guy.
I would have fought you about that even 10 years ago. It was a while till I figured that one out.
Yeah.
Like we were friends and graduated college. And I would have fist fighted. So yeah.
So the last three live bands live acts I've seen were Casey Musgraves, Kit Moore, and Lady Antebellum. So I'm probably not great to comment on this.
I love Casey Musgraves. She's
awesome.
She's
I
going
love
to
her
be
too.
the Grand Marshal at what's the race coming up? She's the Grand Marshal at, or singing the anthem. I can't remember what. She's involved in a NASCAR race very soon. She's from Texas.
She's awesome. I've seen her twice. She's really good.
Yeah, she's from Texas. She sings very progressive country music. Like it's okay in her songs. It's okay to smoke pot. So we're trying to get country music fans to understand that that's really not a big deal.
You know what's funny about that is the last couple bands that I've saw. The last one that I saw was the Struts, and they're a UK band. And the one before that I saw was Kaleo, who's an Icelandic band.
Woo!
So there you go.
Wow. Okay.
Jesus.
Yeah. So
and I saw the Avett Brothers a couple of years ago as well. They're pretty good.
Nice.
In fact, they're excellent. Not pretty good. They're amazing.
Avett Brothers?
Yeah.
Awesome.
The only thing I don't like is when we've got a couple of British bands that sing about like the Tennessee line and stuff. And it's like,
God,
and it's like, why?
That was
so that's what pissed me off about Keith Urban.
Yeah.
We're singing
Prettiest country from
Georgia to Tennessee. That pissed me off because he's Australian, obviously, and I'm like, you obviously didn't write this song. And it's like, it's not, and I don't hate on all the people that don't write their music because I get the way it works. Like, you get music and you do it, but like, come on, man.
And that depends on where you are. Like, if you're driving from Atlanta to Knoxville, that's Georgia to Tennessee,
not true.
That sucks. That is a terrible drive. If you're driving from Atlanta to Bristol, but the problem is you have to go through North Carolina the way it's made. There is no part of just Atlanta, like Georgia to Tennessee line stuff. There's nothing good there. You have to go through North Carolina.
575 to what is it? Either 515 or 365 through Union County, and then into Tennessee that way. I think
I'll pay you
probably pretty.
$10 million for every time Keith Urban's been on that road.
and I will owe you exactly $0. Right. You may owe me like some sort of
nominal amount
vacuum fund.
Oh man, fellas,
do you know who is good? Luke Combs is quite good. I really like
he
Luke
is.
Combs.
Luke Combs. Luke Combs.
Yeah.
I saw Luke Combs.
You need to look at Sturgill Simpson.
Sturgill Simpson.
It was a big bearded one.
He sounds
like
a lot older.
Mainstream.
The big
Stapleton.
One, oh yeah, Chris Stapleton.
Chris Stapleton.
Chris and Dirk Bentley. I like Dirk
If you
Bentley
like
as
some
well.
of that music, I know we've said it like way too many times on our podcast, but Cody Jinks.
We talked about it on the very most recent podcast.
Yeah, he's got
and
some
Midland
great...
Midland drinking song.
I haven't caught up with Midland yet, but I'm gonna.
Drinking song, yes.
Yes, that's a tune.
Yeah, that's a good one. We listened to that, and Sydney made us listen to that whole album, and I did. So thank you, Sydney.
I need to do that.
Yeah, she's amazing. I can't wait for that to come out.
Absolutely.
Us the same. It's going to be awesome. Fellas,
yeah.
It's been like an hour and 40 minutes. And this is some of the most fun we've had doing podcasts.
This is the longest one we've done yet.
I hope people will enjoy this and appreciate and have as much fun listening as we've had just sitting here talking and BSing this whole time. So with that, why don't y'all close us out? Let us know where the folks can find you and what's coming up next.
You can do that. I'll just sit here.
Right. Okay. So,
what's the word you use? Useless.
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 Absolutely useless. You can find us on you can find us Twitter at MOATF Podcast. The website is MOATF.com. We're on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud. Maybe not SoundCloud. iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio. What's coming up next? We're covering the entirety of the Euro NASCAR season. The only race we're missing is the next one in Italy. We'll be at Pocono in June. probably wearing T-shirts with Power Skiff on, so come and say hello. Yeah, and that's us.
Excellent.
That's
We've had
awesome.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
It's been
still
good. I like
haven't.
Yeah, really enjoyed it.
I still haven't ruled out the idea of buying a ticket to Pocono, even though I'm going to Michigan the next week.
Sherwin, same here. With pinky up.
I'll buy you beer for the entirety of it.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Don't tell two rednecks you'll buy us beer for the whole thing. That's like that's 40% of our budget.
All right, so I know we have to fly into Wilkes Barr and then get a car, but all right, so Pocono might be a thing. We'll have to red eye out if there is such
Possibly.
an animal. We'll look at it. Actually, as soon as this is done, while we're still talking to you guys on the YouTube, we're gonna fart around on Delta's website and see what's
we'll
up.
We'll do that. Well, Sherwin, everybody knows where they can find us. PETMpodcast.com, at PETM Podcast on Twitter and Instagram and everywhere else. Y'all know what to do, and we'll be with y'all again next week. Until then, give us a follow and everything. As always, I'm Tailgate Mayor Rusty Wallace at Tailgate Mayor.
And I am Pregame Engineer at Pregame Engineer. Make sure if you're using iTunes, you subscribe, you rate, and give us a little bit of a review. Even if you want to cuss us out, that's fine. I'm on the Instagram at Andrew L. Sherwin.
See y'all next week.
We are NASCAR!
We are NASCAR.
And we're done.
All right.
Woo.
We're fixing to blow up some Delta.com in this mother.
All right. See what the story is.
Okay.
David,
Oh,
that
I
was
have a
awesome.
companion
I think.
ticket.
Oh, do you? I got to race like a piss horse, so give me a moment.
I do too. So we'll trade spots so they're not left alone. All right. So hold on, y'all. I'm going to keep talking to you, but I'm going to be looking at Delta.com.
Do it.
All right. So
Crack it out, sunshine. Crack it out.
Scranton Wilkes Barr. That race is on June the 3rd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll check Saturday first. I know I can't take any days off, but I will be willing to do the ridiculous to potentially meet up with y'all because it's so close. I mean, that's less than a 2-hour flight.
No, what to Pocono is this?
Yeah, Atlanta.
Oh, I had to go to the bathroom.
Chloe wants to fight me.
Chloe wants to fight you. All right, so this is about let's see. They don't have very many flights. They're all at night. So we could do we wouldn't be able to do the Saturday race based on what I'm seeing. Actually, hold on a damn second. I could put in Friday and see.
Hold on one damn second now, boy. Don't you gonna be putting that in the wrong place now.
I think you could do a better Southern voice than I can do whatever the shit noise y'all make is.
Shit noise y'all make. Oh, man. All right. Well, hey, for the folks on YouTube, thank you for joining. We're going to shut this thing down.
Before I say something bad.
Yeah. Well, we're just having fun at this point. We'll catch y'all next week. Thank you for joining, and thank you to MOATF Podcast for being on. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's probably 9, 10, 11, 12. It's like at least 1 o'clock there.
Oh,
almost.
it's 2 a.m. It's fixing
It's
to be
actually
2
nearly
a.m.
2.
Nearly 2. Holy crap.
And
So-
they
Yes.
have, like, real work to do tomorrow.
yeah. So we'll stop streaming. See y'all later.